an icon.
This is the main event of the night, the WBC Championship of the World.
Tonight, making his return to the ring, and he is back, ladies and gentlemen.
Ready now for the main event. He knows this is his moment.
The heavyweight champion of the world. One of sport's most admired and pursued titles.
It starts with one.
An achievement which goes hand in hand with fame and fortune. Allowing one man to capture the imagination of the entire global public. Here we look at three of today's biggest heavyweights, superstars in their own right, and compare them to those who paved the way from previous generations. We cover the age-old argument of then versus now. Welcome to a Motivedia production.
Tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.
One thing, I don't know why.
As it would be near impossible to cover the entire history of the division, we stick to the three leading figures from the three most widely recognized eras: the 70s, the 90s, and those of today. As a straight comparison, there is one most notable factor: size. Heavyweights of today are giants, all three of which are substantially larger than any of their previous counterparts. At 6 feet 9 inches, Tyson Fury is the tallest of the current crop, with Wilder and Joshua just a few inches shorter. Before that, Lennox Lewis stood at 6 foot 4 inches and Big George at 6'3". Despite this implying an increasing reach and weight advantage for today's fighters, we believe a battle of the jabs would be closely tussled out between Ali and Lewis. Also, whilst Mike Tyson was the smallest and lightest, he was probably the most size-effective of the lot.
I know predict, but yeah, I do. I'm looking for a knockout.
Do you have a round selected?
No, I'm not a round predictor. But trust me, my belief in theory in life is to destroy or be destroyed.
One thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme. It was played in 2 times. All I know.
In fact, the earlier heavyweights seemed to be in much greater physical shape. Built to last 15 rounds, fighters of the 70s had to be in immaculate condition. Better still, a quick look at Muhammad Ali shows that they could even stick and move for the entire duration of the fight. The 90s, however, brought a much more chiseled and muscle-bound breed of fighters, though appearances can be deceiving, as proved by the surprisingly light-footed Tyson Fury, who looks to return this year.
I'm the man in these shows, me. There's no heavyweights apart from me. They're only ever acting me. The only way to beat me is nail me to the canvas. And if you don't do that, you've lost.
As we've recently seen, it is hard to make a case against Deontay Wilder being the hardest puncher in the list. Despite Foreman being notoriously heavy-handed, it was more of a clubbing power. And as for Tyson, better timing, technique, and punches and bunches set him apart. Similarly, Smoking Joe's left hook was one of the most powerful punches in heavyweight history. This and his aggressive bob and weave style matched only by a prime Iron Mike.
Left hand almost drove Richardson right through the canvas.
As for the opposite, the ability to take a punch, it is almost impossible to tell. As heavyweights, anything can happen. We saw Joshua take Klitschko's biggest punch, and most of the others in our list exchanged huge, clean blows.
On the belt. Tyson with a short left hook to the head of Holyfield. A right hand by Mike Tyson.
Though, in a 21-year career, Muhammad Ali took all manner of full-on shots from some of the biggest hitters of all time, and yet only suffered a handful of brief trips to the canvas. Whilst Deontay Wilder is the only name not to have been dropped or knocked out, only time will tell exactly how good his chin is.
I ain't scared of nobody. I'll come in your backyard, baby, for that, my man. I promise you that.
If you fought the 1986 version of Mike Tyson, Deontay, who would win?
Man, look, I know people always go back to the old school, new school, and stuff like that, but there's no old school or new school fighter that can beat Deontay Wilder. I'll knock them all out.
You heard Deontay Wilder say that he'll beat Mike Tyson in his prime. What'd you think?
He's smoking crack.
Finally, in terms of popularity, how can you look past a man who, at his heights, was deemed the most recognizable man on the planet? The same man who helped carve boxing into the sport it has become, and managed to convince the entire world he was the greatest.
I have tussled with a whale, I done handcuffed lightning, throw thunder in jail. Now you know I'm bad. Only last week I murdered a rock, injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean I make medicine sick.
He was the greatest man I ever met. To say he was the greatest boxer is a put down. He was bigger than boxing. He was bigger than anything.
A few have come close. The controversy of Mike Tyson is a story like no other.
Well, there's no question that just like Muhammad Ali at his peak, Mike Tyson's opponents come in with a great psychological disadvantage. They regard Mike as a very, very special kind of opponent.
My goodness, he's got a bloody right ear. Holyfield bit by a dirty Mike Tyson.
I can't believe what I'm seeing.
I'm saying to myself, this is beyond a freak show. I'm looking at the dark side of the moon. I don't know what I'm seeing here.
And Joshua is slowly becoming one of the most likable heavyweights of all time.
Congratulations, Anthony, on one of the most spectacular heavyweight championship fights of all time.
What a fight! Humbling fight to watch. Tremendous heart shown by both guys, tremendous character.
Honestly, do you know what I think of first? First of all, when you say that, is that I know there's some young kid that's going to be inspired by tonight's event, that's going to go on and be better than Klitschko, myself, and give us more fun nights of boxing. So I'm just hoping that someone got inspired by that and go on to do better than what we did, because boxing will forever live on then.
Though everything is relative, athletes change over time, and fighters are no exception.
When I get to Africa, we gonna get it on because we don't get along.
Marches over to Lewis, and it's out of control.
Well, that was Joshua hitting after the bell, and White not having any of it. White's lost control. White has lost control.
Anytime, any place, anywhere. Like a dumb Klitschko, I'll beat you, you bum. You're a bum.
We eagerly anticipate the return of Tyson Fury, and whether the tongue of self-proclaimed baddest man on the planet, Deontay Wilder, will be matched by his actions in what would be one of the biggest matchups ever.
But the world wants Joshua.
All right, well,
the world wants Wilder.
All right,
I want Joshua. Joshua, come and see me, baby. Soon there will be one champion, one face, one name, and he Deontay Wilder.
It isn't always pretty, but boy, is it dramatic and entertaining. Deontay Wilder.
No matter your favorite fighter, past or present, the heavyweight division will, and always has, created drama like no other.